rappers who were authors. While we enjoy listening to the lyrics of many of our favorite rappers, it seems that many of them have also stepped out and put their words to page. From memoirs detailing triumphs and downfalls to fiction that portrays characters in a way that is more fact than fiction, rappers have created reads that are not only awe-inspiring, but surprisingly vulnerable as well. Make sure you watch the entire video because I don't think you'll believe what some of these rappers revealed in their books. Before we start the video, make sure you like the video and don't forget to subscribe. Number 9. Common. Born Lonnie Rashid Lynn, Chicago rapper Common has had many titles since starting his career. He has been a rapper, actor, philanthropist, and activist, and he most recently added New York Times best-selling author to that list of accolades and titles as well. In his first novel, One Day It'll Make Sense, Common writes a memoir that chronicles his life from his childhood in the south side of Chicago to him becoming the man he is today. In his acclaimed memoir, he talks about his hardships such as almost quitting rap after his first album flopped, to recounting his rise to fame, while also talking about the struggles of balancing love and family life. In his second book, Let Love Have the Last Word, Common uses his personal experiences to touch on the topics of God, love, family, and self-care, and how his life has allowed him to explore not only loving himself, but loving others as well. Number 8. Logic. Branching out from music, Logic has not only thrown his hat into the ring of book writing, but has also stood out even more by making his debut novel fictional. Inspired by his manager telling him, quote, "Yeah, dude, you can't write a book," Logic dived into reading books until he felt he was ready to write his own. Described as a darkly funny psychological thriller, Supermarket is surprising due to the fact that many of his peers only focus on writing memoirs and non-fictional self-help books. Logic, though, has branched off from the norm, which seems to be his MO, by creating a fictional story of a young, depressed man's life becoming more interesting when the grocery store he works at becomes a crime scene. The novel itself has received rave reviews, as many can't seem to put it down, and are eager to keep reading. Along with just the love from readers and fans of Logic, he has also become the first rapper to ever have a New York Times #1 best-selling novel, reaching the top of the paperback trade fiction bestsellers list. Number 7. No Malice. Born in Virginia Beach, Virginia, Gene Thornton Jr., better known as No Malice, has made a renowned name for himself as a rapper and musician. After leaving the group Clips, Malice decided to stand on his own, not only as a rapper, ready to tell new stories through his music, but as an artist ready to share in a different way, which includes writing a book. In his book, Wretched, Pitiful, Poor, Blind, and Naked, Malice tells the true story of his success, being in the spotlight, and how when everyone saw him at the top of his game, it was the lowest point of his life personally. He clears away the pretty picture of the American dream that he achieved and shows the hardships and pain, as well as the triumphs of achieving your goals. Number 6. 50 Cent. 50 Cent, aka Curtis Jackson, has made himself into a hip-hop and pop culture icon. But not many know about all the hard work and drive that goes into being not only a successful musician, but also a renowned businessman as well. In his book, The 50th Law, 50 Cent collaborates with Robert Greene, who wrote The 48 Laws of Power, on a semi-autobiographical book that not only features stories from 50 Cent himself, but also lessons and anecdotes from historical figures like Abraham Lincoln, Socrates, and Malcolm X. The book is split up into 10 chapters that each open up with a factor about being fearless. It has also been featured on the New York Times bestseller list, the USA Today bestseller list, and has also been featured in many articles from publications like Business Insider and Forbes. This shows that not only is 50's book a great portrayal of the hardships he went through, but also a must-read for those who are ready to look past fear and achieve their goals. Number 5. Lil Wayne. In 2016, the famous American rapper Lil Wayne released Gone Till November, his diary from his time in prison during his incarceration in 2010 at New York's Rikers Island prison. Here is where he stayed for 8 months and kept a diary following his thoughts and experiences throughout that time. While Wayne is considered an open book, this brings a whole new meaning, as he goes into details about how he's served as an aid for suicide prevention and also attempted suicide himself. The prolific rapper's story of incarceration is not only transfixing but incredibly raw. Many publications such as The New Yorker and the New York Journal of Books have given the book great reviews. Many readers and fans of Lil Wayne's book have enjoyed his frank and simple portrayal of his life in prison. Number 4. Eminem. In the 2008 autobiography, The Way I Am, the prolific and Oscar-winning Detroit rapper utilizes personal anecdotes, photographs, and original artwork to tell the story of his struggles and triumphs with poverty, drug fame, and more. The book not only has great written content but also unreleased lyric sheets and memorabilia from his early life. Also an acclaimed New York Times bestseller, Eminem gives readers a look into his creative process and also reasoning behind choices such as dyeing his hair blonde and his accusations of being homophobic. Not only does he write about his more famed exploits, but he also gives a look into his life of raising 3 girls and his dependency on sleeping pills. If you ever wanted a deeper look into the life of one of the fastest rising rappers to date, then pick up this autobiography because it is revealing and poignant while still remaining candid. Number 3. JayZ. Growing up in the Marcy housing projects of Brooklyn, New York is where JayZ got his start writing rhymes, and is also where the start of JayZ's memoir Decoded begins as well. This memoir not only serves as a partial autobiography, but his life also gives the reader an inside look into his youth, while also deconstructing and decoding his lyrics. Decoded functions as an artistic look of music lessons, social and political commentary, and shoutouts to some of his favorites in the business like Notorious Big and Lauryn Hill. Publications like The New Yorker and the Los Angeles Times have said that Decoded is, quote, elegantly designed, insensively written, and an impressive leap by a man who has never been known for small steps. Many readers have also said that this book is also an inspiring story that is full of tips and lessons for artists and entrepreneurs. Anyone who has experience or a need to rise above their present circumstance to succeed will enjoy watching JayZ decode his art and success in a way that we can all relate to. When a self-made billionaire talks, you listen. Number 2. Rick Ross. Grammy-nominated rapper and entrepreneur Rick Ross may have come under fire for legal troubles and has an ongoing rivalry with 50 Cent, but he is still a respected artist and also an author. In his memoir, Hurricanes, we see just how influential Ross has been outside of his newsworthy feuds and social media deals.
What made you want to name it Hurricanes?
Really, because that's what life is all about. We all pray and wish for the sunny days, but life is, you will deal with hurricanes, most definitely.
While we all know Ross as this insane presence within the music industry, not many actually know his backstory and what brought him to the music industry. From growing up in Miami at the height of the city's crack epidemic, to overcoming it and honing in on his musical talents, and eventually signing with his first major label, Def Jam. Him opening up on controversial topics such as his past both as a drug dealer and correctional officer prove he leaves nothing secret in this memoir. Through it, you really get to know Ross in a more vulnerable way, as opposed to his music, which tends to prop up his grandized image. Through his writings, many readers have said that it has shown them what amazing things can occur after life's storms occur. Number 1. Gucci Mane. In the rapper's debut album, one of the main pieces we pull from Gucci Mane is his struggle to be seen within the music scene. Although he's been one of the main figures to have crafted the iconic Atlantic trap sound, image is something that Gucci Mane has struggled with since arriving on the scene. Between being locked in at a maximum security prison and lashing out against his peers in a notorious 2013 Twitter rant, Gucci weaves together a cautionary tale throughout his autobiography.
What inspired you to start writing an autobiography?
I don't know, like somebody, my engineer suggested it, you know, when I was away, and then it was just something like, I guess, to kill time. Just a stressful. You in prison, you don't got nothing but time, you know what I'm saying? I just reflect on my life, and like I just started writing, and next thing I know, 30, 40 pages was down and I was off and going.
He discusses how his rise to becoming a platinum-selling artist came with a price, especially when his volatile behaviors caught up with him and landed him in prison for firearm possession by a convicted felon. Released in 2016, sober and with a much more positive outlook, this prolific rapper takes us on a journey of his past and how he's used it for a better future. It's such a great read because before his prison sentence, Gucci was spiraling out of control and no one knew if he would be able to bounce back the way he did. So have you read any of these books? Plan on picking up any of them now? Let us know in the comments section. And before you leave, make sure you like the video and don't forget to subscribe.